Welcome to Stacking Sats. This is Muhammad Aiz, the channel aimed at making everything crypto related easy to understand. So today's video, we're looking at voting on Markets.vote. But before we jump in, standard disclaimer, this video is meant purely for educational purposes and should not be taken as financial advice. So if you're watching this video, there are a few prerequisites. You need to have a MetaMask or equivalent wallet. You need to also have minted an ID on either the Ethereum or Binance Smart Chain networks and have Ethereum or BNB to pay for gas depending on which network you are on. If you're not sure what Markets.vote is, there's a video on that. And also if you're not sure how to do any of the above, there's also a video on that as a walkthrough. So let's jump straight in. Voting, again, quick recap. Once you've minted an identity, each new player starts with 100 voice credits or 100 voting power. And the aim is to allocate these votes to 10 assets. And we are using quadratic voting. What is quadratic voting in its simplest form? It's you're squaring a number. So if you wanted to vote 10 votes towards something, you're actually allocating 10 times 10, which is 100 of your voting power towards the asset. Again, this is covered in more detail in the Markets.vote video. So your V power can grow by predicting the market correctly, and the amount you win is the amount you allocated to the winning asset, and any new V power you gain gets added to your original V power, and that becomes your new floor. So that becomes your new minimum that you start voting from. So now that we've covered a bit of what we needed to know, let's have a look at a live demonstration. So again, you can go to finance.vote or markets.vote, click on the predictions market. It will load up. If you've not signed in to your MetaMask or your web browser, please make sure to sign in and then select the network you're going to be using. For this demonstration, I'm going to be using my ID on the Ethereum network. So once you've reached this page, start voting. Again, you can have a read through here, or we can just go to the start voting page. And what you'll see, if you have more than one identity, you can select which identity you want to vote with. Otherwise than that, it will come up with your identity, in my case, number 153. So I've achieved 280 voting credits through my voting. So that's my new floor. So that means every time I vote, I'm going to have at least 280, unless I win more, which then gets added to it. So again, here are our 10 assets. And as you can see, it's giving us, since Sunday, we are Tuesday today. So since Sunday midnight, it's been a couple of days. It's giving us a percentage change for each one. Now, when I come to allocate my votes, there's two different ways I go about it. It's a mix of two, but I know for a lot of people, it's one of two. The first being spread betting. So I've created what I call my FVT power calculator. And what I have here is the amount of votes I want to allocate to an asset. And here it squares it and it tells me how many remaining I have. Since my V power is 280, that's what I'm starting with here. So let's assume, and again, I'm just choosing random numbers for now. I'm feeling super bullish on one asset, so I'm going to allocate it 9. Well, that's actually going to take 81, 9 squared, which is 81 of my V. I have 199 remaining. And I'm just going to carry on again, allocating random, not entirely random, but random enough numbers. So I've done this here and you can see, right, I've allocated my votes, but I'm actually 17 over. I know it says minus, but my mind works in a different way, but that's fine. I'm 17 over. So what I've got on the right hand side is my vote difference matrix. I want to try and find the number closest to minus 17. And actually I've got minus 17 here exact. Now what this tells me is that I have a 9 that I could swap for an 8. So rather than allocating 9 votes to one of the 10 assets, I can allocate 8 votes and that will clear up the difference. So here, when I've got 9, I'm going to change that to 8. I know the difference between 9 squared and 8 squared is the 17. So now I've used the total amount of votes I have. So this is a nice way to play around depending on how you're feeling about the market, how you want to spread your votes. Alternatively, you can use a bit of TA. So I've got an example of YFI against the USD, and I'm taking my data from Binance. And as we can see here, so this candle, as you can see at the bottom, is the 11th of April, so Sunday gone. And what I've looked at is, since we are in a bullish moment and price is trending upwards, I'm assuming price is going to go up. What I have drawn out here, this rectangle here, is essentially where we can see spikes and where the price has reached. So from our current Sunday close to the top of this range is about a 7.91, say 8% gain if you take it to the top. Or if we're feeling super bullish on YFI and we're thinking it's going to retest the all-time highs, we're looking at about a 17.5 or 18% gain. So you can use this. Essentially what I do is I do this for every token, or for every one of the assets except DAI, for obvious reasons, alongside my FVT calculator, and I'll play around with the numbers here to find a way to allocate so I can maximize my returns and increase my chances of winning. So once we've done that, I can go back into Markets.vote and I can start voting. I can say, well, I'm feeling super bullish on YFI, so I'm going to give that 8 votes. I'm then feeling bullish next on Chainlink, 7. I think it was 3 6s. I could be feeling, I think Bitcoin's going to break its all-time high and rise a bit. I think Uniswap or V3 is going to explode. Maker's not had a pump for a while. I had 2 4s and 2 3s. So since I'm not expecting the market to be bearish, I'm going to give DAI the smallest allocation, which is 3, and so on and so forth. And then once you've finished your allocation, you just smash the vote button. What will happen is it will give you a notification here and you accept. Obviously I'm not going to accept that for now because I don't want to vote at this moment in time, but that is the premise of how to vote. And 2 different ideas in terms of looking at ways to spread your votes or using technical analysis. Again, I love my fib retracements, so I've got those in there. You can use whatever, again, it's not an exact science, you can use whatever TA you want to use with that. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. I know it's a shorter one today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed any of the content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.